Okay, today we are doing the follow-up video for the Benchmade Bugout, the official authentic knife I got from Benchmade, not the clone. About a month ago I did the comparison video for the clone that I got off of Wish and the authentic Benchmade here. The initial takeaway I had from it was that they were very similar, almost too similar for me to comfortably justify the $200 price tag that is on the official Benchmade Bugout. However, after using it for a month, and I gave it a month because I really felt like I owed this one its due because of how much I raved about the clone version of it that I got off of Wish, but I will say the similarities, are still pretty similar between this knife and the Benchmade clone from Wish. It does feel like it is made a little sturdier. It feels a little sturdier in my hand. The scales don't flex. The knife feels firmer. It feels like it's gonna last a little bit longer than the clone. And the steel itself of the blade, it actually feels like a better steel when using it. So it might actually be the S30V steel, as the clone is probably just a standard stainless steel composition, not as strong. But I know it might sound silly to some of you who don't use knives all the time, but you can feel the difference in a metal and a steel when you're using it day to day. It's subtle, but I definitely feel like the Benchmade Bugout is the. I mean, obviously, it's going to be the S30V steel. That's what they advertise and what they use. The clone is clearly not done to the standards of Benchmade, so it's not more than likely not going to have the same density scales, the same type of actual steel that the authentic comes with. That being said, I feel like the authentic Benchmade has a little bit of a cut above the clone, but I am still not convinced it's enough of a cut above the clone for me to drop $200 on this thing. At one point, I actually almost lost this thing at work. It fell out of my pocket because I have to wear one of those company vests, the tool company I work for, and I wanted to load out a customer, and the edge of the vest apparently caught the clip and pulled it out of my pocket. Well, I didn't know, but it had fallen down on the ground outside, and walked all over trying to find it, and ended up finding it out on the concrete. So I would have been very upset if I lost a $200 knife. I would not have been that upset if I lost a $24 knife from Wish. So that is where the big comparisons come through. I've already done a follow-up video for the Benchmade clone, and this one's not going to differ very much. The blade steel feels like actual S30V, feels like a better steel, whereas the Benchmade clone from Wish feels like a standard stainless steel. Still kept its edge for a long time, but a brand new untested steel, this is obviously going to be much sharper than the one I've had for a year, but I mean, this is still, using it day to day, it feels stronger. It feels like it's going to last longer than the clone did. And then, like I said, again, it feels stiffer, sturdier. Like the composition of the scales is a better density, a better composition. Like it's going to last longer. Again, I don't know if it's worth $200. I would appreciate these knife companies to drop prices, especially for people like us, working class people who would like to be able to use their equipment, use their tools, use their knives, but not have to spend an arm and a leg for it. I'm going to keep this one because I like the design of the Bugout, clone and official. This one will stay with me. I'll probably put it in my go bag or something in case of an emergency, my camping gear maybe. But it's just $200, man. It's a hard pill to swallow carrying this around every day and almost losing it in that month time. It definitely makes you not want to take it out, not want to run around with it, especially if you're not heavily reliant on a knife day to day. I mean, I use knives for work in both my own business and the company I work for. Um, but it's, I don't want to have to drop $200 every couple months because somebody stole it, or I lost it, or any other myriad of things that could happen to a $200 knife. So it gets a 2 thumbs up from me. Comfortability, use, weight, sharpness, design, aesthetics. I mean, it's all something I've already become appreciative from using the clone. But that price tag, man, that price tag really, really puts a damper on it for me. But if you got $200 to throw around, well, I don't think this is worth the price of $200. This is definitely a good knife to have with you. Low profile, hides in the pocket real well. I only had the one issue with your low profile clip here getting caught and pulled out of my pocket one time, and I almost lost the knife that day. Luckily, there weren't any customers in the parking lot at that time. Otherwise, this would have been gone in a heartbeat. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 because everything else on it I love, but that price tag is so jacked up. I can't even fathom buying another one. And I mean, I used it pretty excessively. You can see all the wear and tear on the blade, and it's still sharp as the day I opened it a month later. So I wish I had more time with it to give you guys a better review on it, but 7 out of 10 because of the price tag. That's just too much. A knife like this, you can probably get a knife like this a dozen different knife companies that are a quarter or even an eighth of that price. So if you guys have any questions about it, if you want to know anything about it, any specific things you want to see if I cut with it, just shoot me a comment, let me know. I got no problem pulling it back out and running a few tests on it, especially because this is, like I said, one of those higher end expensive things that would probably be good to know all the ins and outs before you decide if you want to waste $200 on it. So anyways, that's my follow-up for the Benchmade Bugout, the authentic from Benchmade, not the clone from Wish. You can go and check out the comparison video if you haven't seen that one yet, and then you can check out the original videos for my opinion on the clone version I got from Wish for an eighth of the price. Alright, thanks guys.